Are y'all ready to start?
Yeah!
Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing?
Good!
I'll get louder than that. How's everybody doing?
Good!
Much better. My name is John, and I'm with Animal Tales, and for the last 15 years I've worked with all sorts of animals, big and tall, short and small. I've worked with things like lions and tigers and bears. People say, oh my. Everybody say, oh my.
Oh my!
I don't have any of those animals here today, but I do have some really cool, really exotic animals for you, because our program today is called Born to be Wild, and we're going to be talking about animals in the wild and some of the wild sounds that they make. Who can raise their hand and give me a good wild animal sound? A good wild animal sound?
Moose.
Moose? What does moose sound like? That's a pretty good moose sound. What's the other good one?
Tiger.
A tiger? What does tiger sound like? What's the other good one? What is that? Another tiger? Lion? Lion? That's a really good duck. I have not heard a good duck this whole summer. That is really, really good. What about this one? Monkey. All right, we're going to get very exotic now. We're going to get very difficult. We're going to see if we can answer this one. Are y'all ready?
Sheep!
Sheep or a goat?
Goat!
That's my goat impression. You want to hear my sheep impression? Sounds like this. Yeah, they're a little bit different. I don't have any sheep to go today, but I do have some other cool animals. Before we get to them, we have some very important rules. We have to make sure to stay in our seats. We stay very, very quiet. If we have a question, we do what? Raise your hand. And I like questions. If you want to ask me, how does an elephant turn purple in the summer? You can ask me, and I will tell you. They don't turn purple in the summer. They don't turn purple at all. I'm sorry to disappoint. Are y'all ready to see some animals? Our first animal today is a very good jumper. To give you an example of how far they can jump, I need a very good jumper from the crowd. Very good jumper. Big smiles, big smiles, big smiles. Come on up. We're going to stand right here next to me. Stand here right here next to me. What I'm going to have you do, don't jump yet. Whenever I do say jump, you can jump as far as you can jump that way, okay? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, jump! Very good. Everybody give a big round of applause. Very good, very good. You can have a seat. Thank you. So, she's able to jump to about here. Our first animal today can jump from right here to right here, the same distance. The difference is, our first animal today is only this big. Frog. You are correct. It is a frog. And frogs can jump very far. This frog can jump from here all the way to here. And it's only this big. To give you an example of how impressive that is, if that frog was my size and how far it could jump from here through that doorway. It's pretty impressive. The first part of his name is Amazon. He gets named Amazon because he's from the Amazon, which is located where?
South America.
On the internet, right? Just kidding, just kidding. South America. Say South America. The second and third part of his name is Golden Eyed. He gets named Golden Eyed because he has golden eyes. The fourth part of his name is Tree. They get the name Tree because they live in the trees of the rainforest. And it's the Amazon Golden Eyed Tree Frog. And this is Kermit. Everybody say hi, Kermit.
Hi,
Kermit is an Amazon Golden Eyed Tree Frog, and they are from the Amazon in South America. And they spend all their time in the trees where this coloration helps them do what? Camouflage. Everybody say camouflage. That coloration keeps them safe from animals trying to hurt them. Now, if an animal does come up to them, they have second defense. They are called milk frogs. And they get that name because whenever they get really scared, they secrete a white milky fluid out of their skin, and it's toxic. If you were to eat them, it's not going to be too much fun. So most animals leave them alone. And that's great because we need them. Why do we need them? To eat their food. And what do they eat? Bugs. And that's great because do you all eat bugs?
No!
What about chocolate-covered bugs?
No!
Sometimes. We don't typically eat bugs, and that's why we like them. They go up to their food, they grab it with their tongues, they pull it back into their mouth, and they use something kind of weird to squish their food. You know what they use? They use their eyeballs. That's right. You use your eyeballs to squish your food? No. We use our throat muscles to push it down. We go whoop. They don't have that, so they use their eyeballs to do it. Now, in the wild, like I said, they spend all their time in the trees. And people go, well, what about when they lay their eggs? Don't they lay their eggs in the water? You're right. In the rainforest, there's trees that will hold puddles of water. The boy frogs find those puddles and they call out to the girls. How they make that call? They fill their throat full of air, and as they let the air out, they vibrate the sound. So we're all going to do that right now. Everybody go, ma. Now do this. Ma. Use this vibrating sound, and that's how they make their call. they make their call, kind of sounds like this. Meh, 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 meh. And I want everybody to do that whenever I say go. We're going to do it for 10 long seconds. Whenever they do it, it's called a chorus of frogs. And me and Kermit here, we can't do that together, so I'm going to need your help. So y'all ready to make the sound? Ready, set, go. Very good. We were just a great chorus. And that's what they do in the wild to communicate. The girl frogs come over, they lay their eggs, and they only take 1 day to hatch out. That's it. 1 day, 24 hours. And then whenever they hatch out, they turn into a what? A tadpole. And they spend about 3 weeks there turning into a frog. Once they turn into a frog, they spend all their time in the trees. Now I'm going to bring them around so we can see them very closely, but unfortunately we cannot touch him. The reason why is because of his skin. He has what we call permeable skin. What that means is he absorbs things through his skin. If we were to all rub him, then our oils and lotions would get into his skin and it would make him very sick. Do we want to do that? No. But I am going to bring him very close so we can see him. And if he jumps in your face, I'm sorry. Just kidding. Full grown, 5 years old, and live up to about 7 years. Yes, of course, kissing him will turn him into a fish. Just kidding. Because there's always one girl that was like, yes, I'll try it. Cool? Now, as I was walking around, you saw him easily hold on to my finger, and the reason why is because of his feet. His feet have little pads on them that expand and contract and act like suction cups, so he can hold on to the smoothest of surfaces. And are you ready to see if he can hang upside down? Who thinks he can? Raise your hand. Half the crowd. All right, here we go. Ready, Kermit? We're going to go upside down. Kermit, we're going upside down. Let's try it again. Upside down. Try this way. Good. Very good. Everybody give me a round of applause. Everybody say bye, Kermit. Kermit, let go of me. We're done. Let go. Kermit, let go. Let go of my hand. Kermit, we got other animals to get to. Let's go. All right, we're done. Good job. Everybody say bye, Kermit. Bye. A review about Kermit. He is from where? Amazon. He eats what? Bugs. And he makes what kind of sound? Our next animal makes a very unique sound. It actually makes a lot of sounds, but it has one very famous one. And I'm going to try to teach you all how to make it. And if we make it correctly, our next animal might make her sound. But it's only if we do it right. So we're going to try it out. The slow version of it is this. Woo-hoo, ha-ha, ha-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha. So everybody try that. Woo-hoo, ha-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha. Now the trick to the sound is to speed it up. So I'll do it and you do it. Woo-hoo, ha-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha. Alright, show off. She's like, you're not doing it right. What is this next animal? The first part of its name is laughing. And they get named laughing because they sound like they're laughing. Now their sounds are used in movies for South America and Africa, but but they're not from there. They are from Australia. You say Australia.
Australia.
And in Australia, they're called the Bushman's alarm clock because every morning they hear this sound. Step up. Good job. This is Sydney. Everybody say hi, Sydney.
Hi,
Sydney is a laughing kookaburra. Everybody say kookaburra.
Kookaburra.
Laughing kookaburras, like we said, are from Australia. And in Australia, normally, they're pretty boring birds because this is what they do. They stare. What are they looking for? They're looking for their food. And they are carnivores. They say carnivore. That means they eat what?
Meat.
They eat other animals. They eat bugs, they eat mice, they eat rats, they eat snakes, they eat lizards, they eat snakes. They eat little children in the front row. Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. Now Sydney here is still a baby. She is not full grown yet. And she just learned to perch last month. And she just learned to fly 2 weeks ago. So she's still learning how to stand on my hands. So she has to get settled, and once she's settled, she's really good. Now, these birds do that call, like I said, typically early in the morning, and the rest of the day don't make too much noise. Now, it's taken me a while to train her to do that call on command. Now, I've done lots of other things, like go to a show and stand in front of her and go, and she does nothing but look at me and duck. Sydney, are you settled yet? Find your spot. No, not that. We're not getting on that hand. On this hand. On this hand, Sydney. Other hand. Yes, that hand. Put your foot out. Right, put your foot right there. Move this foot over. You're not in a good position. Good goober. Get up there, Sydney. You're ridiculous. There you go. No, she just has trouble perching sometimes, and so she just has to get settled in my hand, and once she gets settled in my hand, then she'll be perfectly fine. Now Sydney here is still a baby. She's only 4 months old. She'll actually get double this size. I had to get her 2 months ago as a fledgling. What's a fledgling? A bird that can't fly yet. And I had to feed her like her mother. I had to take her food and I'd go above her and go, feeding time, feeding time. Sydney, up here. Up here. Feeding time. What are you looking at? Whatever. Back to training her in the lab. It took a while. There's many times I tried all kinds of things to get her to laugh. I even tried to tell her jokes. She'd laugh at kookaburra. I thought it might work. But you want me to try to tell her some jokes?
Yeah.
Now, she doesn't think my jokes are funny, but we'll try them out. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Gorilla. Gorilla mean hamburger because I'm hungry. She's laughing on the inside. We'll try another one. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Boo. Don't cry, it's just a joke. Laughing on the inside. Now, I had some success. One day, somebody called me and they told me a joke. And I go, ha 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 ha. Well, whenever I laughed, she laughed back at me. So we did back and forth. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. And we did that all day long. Then we went to our first show and I go, ha 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 ha. And she goes, she doesn't like to laugh all the time. She usually does it when we first get her out. But maybe if we work all together, we might be able to get her to laugh. Do y'all want to try it out?
Yeah.
Now the trick is everybody make your most evil sounding laugh. We're going to do it on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. She's looking at me like, you're ridiculous. Please stop. Now I'm going to bring Sydney around so we can see her very closely, but we can't touch her. A lot of people see the bird and say, oh, look at the pretty bird. I want to pet the pretty bird. If you go to someone's house and you see their animals, should you go up and touch it? No. Because even though it's okay for them to touch, the animal might not like you touching. Because animals are particular to certain people. Sydney doesn't like to be touched by anybody. If you go up to Sydney and say, oh, I want to pet the pretty bird. Oh, they bite you. So if you see an animal in someone's house, you leave it alone because they will bite you. Thank you, Sydney. Now, why does Sydney put her mouth on me? Because whenever I had to feed her at home, when I was talking about the feeding time, she would open her mouth, and whenever I'd feed her, she'd put her mouth around me, and I realized that she was very gentle with my hands. Now, when she's not gentle is when it's actually feeding time. If I take her food and hand it to her, she rips it out of my hand and flings it all around. She's a wild bird. Now I'm going to bring her around so you can see her a little bit better, but make sure not to get under the bird, because that is the danger zone.
I want to make the bird.
Now, she never goes back to the show. I always take her back. Come behind you. Excuse me, excuse me. Alright. A review about Sydney. She's from where? Australia. She eats what? Bugs, plants, other animals. And she makes what kind of sound? She's like, I've already done it twice. I'm not doing it again. You don't pay me enough for this. Everybody say bye, Sydney.
Bye, Sydney.
All right. Our next animal does not have such an elaborate sound as Sydney does. And our next animal makes this sound. And it is not a snake. Our next animal makes this sound by forcing air through holes in its abdomen called spiracles. Everybody say spiracles.
Spiracles.
Whenever they get upset, they do this. They hiss out, say, hey, leave me alone. Next, we need 2 volunteers to help me hold. 2 volunteers, big smile, sitting still in their seats, Big smile, big smiles, coming up. Here, coming up. You want to stand right here, right here. You want to stand right here, right here. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Face forward, hands together like this, hands together like this. Very good, flat hands, flat hands, flat hands. Our next animal, the first part of its name is Madagascar. They get named Madagascar because they're from Madagascar. The second part of their name is hissing. They get named hissing because they do what?
Hiss.
They hiss. The last part of their name? They're called Madagascar hissing cockroaches.
You said hissing. I'm not so glad I didn't.
Y'all still good? You're still gonna get like, not so good. This is Billy and this is Sally. We say hi, Billy and Sally. How can I tell the difference? The boys have horns on their head, bigger horns that they use to sumo wrestle with the other boys, so don't make him angry. I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. He's only bitten like 30 people, you'll be fine. I'm kidding, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. He never bites anyone. You okay? You still want to do it? No, you don't want to do it? You want me to give her one first? Alright, you ready for the first one? This is the girl, this is Sally.
Get up there, you can do it.
You ready for Sally? You don't want to? No, she doesn't bite. Let me get another volunteer. Come on up. Is that way? Hands together like this. Very good, very good. If you get scared, you let me know and I'll take it back from you. Very good, perfect. So he's going to sit just like that, okay? She's not going to do anything to you. I was just joking. Ready? She's going to hold on to you. You put her feet hold on to you. Just like that. Awesome. This is Billy and this is Sally. Everybody say hi, Billy and Sally.
Hi, Billy and Sally.
They are Madagascar hissing cockroaches and the largest roaches in the world, getting about 4 inches long. So they will get bigger than this. And we like it. And some people go, don't like the roaches. But we need them. The reason we need them is because in the rainforest, it rains a lot. And the rain washed away all the nutrients. That's where we need these animals, because they eat the dead stuff. Do you guys eat dead stuff?
No.
No? You go around chasing a chicken with a knife and a fork? No, you eat dead stuff too. They eat a different type of dead stuff. They eat dead plant matter. And that's great, because when the leaves fall from the trees, instead of getting washed away, they eat them, they break them down, they put the nutrients back into the soil, so that way the trees get the nutrients they need. The problem is, the girls here have lots of babies. 40 to 60 babies at one time. Oh look, she's having babies right now. I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. She goes, too many babies is bad. They eat the stuff on the ground, they move up, they eat the stuff in the trees. We can't have that. That's why we need animals that eat roaches. Do I have any volunteers out there that want to take a bite out of that roach?
No.
I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. I can't All right, y'all did a great job. Right behind you. Everybody give them a big round of applause. Now I'm going to bring around so you can see them very closely. Two things you're going to look at. The darker one is the girl, the lighter one is the boy. You're going to have the horns up there. Also, you're going to see 6 legs and a pair of antennae. That makes them a insect. Everybody say insect.
Insect.
The antenna is how they sense their surroundings. They use that to feel their surroundings. They don't really have eyes, and so they need that to sense their surroundings. A lot of people ask me, can we touch them? Not the best animals to touch because they don't know what's going on. It'd be like you have your eyes closed and then run them all over your face. Would you like that?
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring around so we see them very, very closely. Remember, the boy's the lighter one, the girl's the darker one. Yeah, they kind of excel. Actually, stay very close.
I think my brother turned out. Hey, can you get close to my
Everybody say bye, Billy and Sally. Now, a review about the roaches. They are from where? Madagascar. They eat what? Yeah, play about them. They make what kind of sound again? They make that hissing sound. We're the next animal. Whenever they're very upset, they will do this. Everybody try that out. That's what they do when they're upset. But most of the time, they do this. Everybody try that out. They click. Now, if our next animal was clicking right now, you would not hear it. And the reason why is because our next animal is very quiet. And that's great for them because they're nocturnal. We say nocturnal. That means they come out when? They come out at nighttime. So coming out at nighttime, they need to be very, very quiet so predators do not hear them. Now this type of animal is called a marsupial. Let me say marsupial. Marsupials are animals that are raised in a what? In a pouch. They're raised in a pouch. We all know the famous animal that's raised in a pouch, and that is a what? A kangaroo. This animal is not a kangaroo, but it's a different type of marsupial, and this marsupial is called a 4-eyed possum. And this is Miguel. Everybody say hi, Miguel. Hi, Miguel. Miguel is a 4-eyed possum, and I got a question for you. Does he have 4 eyes? No. He does not have 4 eyes. He has 2 spots on his head that look like eyes, and that can help him out in 2 ways. One is during the nighttime, whenever he's walking around, it can make him look like a bigger animal. During the daytime, whenever he's sleeping and that head's sticking down like this and his eyes are covered up, it can make him look like he's awake to scare away predators, which is awesome. Now, most of the time, he spends on the ground looking for his food, and he is an omnivore. Everybody say omnivore.
Omnivore.
That means they what and what? Plants and animals. They eat a little bit of everything. While they're eating that food, they use those big ears there to listen out for any predators. And they can actually rotate their ears. Can you guys rotate your ears? Everybody try to move your ears around. A little difficult, right? Well, they do that to listen out for any danger that might be around. Now, if an animal does come up and try to hurt them, they open their mouth and they make what sound again? They make the hissing sound, saying, hey, leave me alone. And they're not like our possums. What will our possums do if they get really, really scared? A lot of times we think they play dead. You know what really happens? They faint. They do this. They wake up 10 minutes later like, what happened? These possums don't do that. They open their mouth, animals come up to them, they will try to bite to protect themselves. Now, a second defense they have against venomous snakes, if a venomous snake comes up to them and they see it coming, their bodies can produce a protein to make them immune to the venom. How cool is that? Imagine if you saw a venomous snake instead of going, ah, and run away, you just go, immune. whatever. That's pretty cool. Now, although these possums do spend a lot of their time on the ground, they're very good climbers. And that's due to two things. One is their feet. Their feet have very strong dexterity to grab one. And then also, their tail. They have a prehensile tail. Everybody stand together. Prehensile tail that they use as a fifth limb to be able to climb around. And we're going to see them do a little climbing around right now. Very good. Are you ready, Miguel? Miguel is a... Very good. Now watch his tail. Keep watching the tail. He's going to use it to climb down. Using the tail. Everybody give a big round of applause. Now, he is only 4 months out of pouch. What does that mean? That means 4 months ago he left his mother's pouch. When they're born, they're about this big. They crawl into their mother's pouch. They stay there for about 2 or 3 months until they're about this big, and then they crawl out on their own. That's when I got him. He's born in captivity, now from the wild, and I use this bag here to make him feel comfortable. It reminds him of his mother's pouch, and makes him feel very comfortable and safe, because these animals typically do not make good pets. Read about your animals before you get them, because possums, they can be very aggressive little animals. And do they like to be touched? No. He'll let me touch him because he knows who I am, and I spend every single day with this animal. But he doesn't know who you are. So if you go up and touch him, guess what? He can potentially bite you. Also, that would make him very upset. Like I said, if an animal doesn't want to be touched, should we force touch him? No, that's not nice. Now I'm going to bring around so you can see him very closely, and you'll see those spots. That's why they get named for a possum. You ready? Go. Alright, we're going to put Miguel back there and say bye, Miguel. Now, Miguel is from where? South America. Everybody say South America. Miguel eats what? Plants and animals, and you make what two main sounds? The and the. Very good. Our next animal makes a very, very familiar sound. But before we get to that sound, I need a very fast runner. But our next animal is also pretty fast. But to give you an idea of how fast they are, I need a very fast runner to help me out. In just a moment, let me get the possum's pouch hung back up again. Hang him up inside the crate. That way he's amazing that you want perfect. Alright. Very fast runners sitting still in their seats. Quiet. Behind the line. Big smiles. Has not helped me out yet. Come on up. What's your name?
Rowan.
Rowan? Alright, Rowan. I'm going to have you run from about right here to the chair. You don't have to touch the chair. You just go to the chair and come back. So you're going to go there and here and there and here and there and here as many times as you can do it for 10 seconds. And we're all going to count to 10 together. What this is going to tell us is how fast our next animal can do it. So you ready? Set, go! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. Everybody give a round of applause. That's a great job. Thank you so much. He was able to run from here to there to here to there to here to there, and he did that 10 seconds running at an average speed of about 10 miles per hour. Our next animal can go 30 to 40 miles per hour, which means our next animal can go from there to there to there to there to there to there in about 3 to 4 seconds. Pretty fast. Not as fast as a cheetah. A cheetah can do that in about a second, but our next animal is not a cheetah. What is our next animal? It makes this sound. Oh! right, it is a fire truck. Just kidding, just kidding. I know I sound like a fire truck. It's a wolf dog. It's a wolf dog. What is a wolf dog? It's a mixture of wolf and dog. Now, wolf dogs you don't hear about too often because they do not make good pets. Read about your animals before you get them. Because does a wolf make a good pet? No. Well, if a wolf doesn't make a good pet, why would a wolf dog? Because wolf dogs have traits of the wolf. You don't know how they're going to turn out. There may be a huge percentage of wolf, there may be a low percentage of wolf. Mine is a mixture of gray wolf, Malamute, Husky, and German Shepherd. Luckily for me, both my gray wolves turned out, my wolf dogs turned out great. And they're completely different. Blue, who you'll see today, looks like a mixture of a Husky and a gray wolf. Selena, his sister, looks like a mixture of a German Shepherd and a gray wolf. She has short hair, he has long hair. Whenever I walk outside to let them out in the morning, she does this. Sounds like what? I know. Blue doesn't make any sounds. Whenever I put him away and Selena's not there, you know what sound he makes? He howls. And why do wolves howl? Roll call. They do it for roll call. If you've got one wolf here, and a wolf a mile that way, 3 miles that way, 6 to 8 miles that way. They can hear each other that far away. They do roll call. Oh! And that's to let each other know where everybody is at. Now, I do not have Blue trained to do his call yet. Hopefully, I'll get it in the future. But I do have him trained to do a lot of other things. We're going to talk about training and why it's important to train your animal and how it can help you out. Are y'all ready to meet Blue?
Yes!
Now, Blue is only 4 months old, and I've been training him for about a month and a half now. His training's been going really well. The first week, I got him out in front of everybody, just getting used to being around the crowd. The second week, I trained him up on the table, so he'd stay up there. He does pretty well. Occasionally, he slips a little bit. And then we train him a bunch of other stuff. And this is Blue. Everybody say hi, Blue. Hi, Blue. Blue's still stretching. He's been sleeping. Blue, like we said, is a gray wolf dog, mixed with gray wolf, Malamute, Husky, and German Shepherd. He came out to look more like a Husky and a gray wolf. Now, although he is nice, do not let him fool you. They do not make good pets. Typically, they're very scared of people. He doesn't like people at all. If you were to try to rush the stage to touch him, he's probably going to jump off the table trying to get away from you. He doesn't want anything to do with people. Selena's the same way. Now, let's say you've got a dog, not a wolf dog, just a dog, and your dog's jumping all over the place. They're running back and forth, they're jumping on you, and you need to calm them down. So what do you teach them to do? You teach them to sit. And that immediately calms them down. So how do you teach them to sit? Whenever they're sitting, you say good job and you reward them. So we need to calm down a little bit more, so we teach them to lay down. So we say lay, and they lay down. So that puts them in a calm situation, so it keeps them from jumping on you or jumping on somebody else. Good job, Blue. Now you want them to stay there, so what do you teach them to do? Stay. Teach them to stay. How do you teach an animal to stay? You start out small. So you start out with simple, stay from this distance, so you count 1, 2. Good job, reward. Then you get further away. Stay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job, reward. And you do each one a bunch of times until you feel confident with it. Till you can scoot back far away and move around, and you say stay, and they stay there. 10, 20, 30, 40 seconds, or until you give them the command to get up. Like this. Good job, Blue. And he gets up. Everybody give me a round of applause. Now, the next thing I trained Blue to do was shake hands. Now, why did I teach him to shake hands with me? Because it looks cool. Just kidding. Now, the reason I did that is that access to his feet. I only trained him to shake hands 2 weeks ago. And he's still learning, so we're getting it longer and longer and longer. The reason for this is to trim his nails. In the future, or whenever I have to trim his nails, normally people will do this. Come here, I gotta get your nails, I gotta trim your nails. The dog's all over the place and they don't want to do it. So, I'm training Blue to let me have his feet so I can go and trim his nails. Easy peasy. And that's the point of training him to shake hands. Now, the next training behavior we got here is targeting. Targeting is amazing because you can make an animal go wherever you want them to go without forcing them to do it. They do it at their own accord. Like an elephant. Can you pick up an elephant and move it? No. But using a target, you can make an elephant walk in circles at their own accord. They do it at their own choice. And the same thing with Blue. I train the target, that way if for some reason he turns mean or evil in the future and he has to go to a sanctuary, they can use the same target. They can put it on a rope and then a stick, and they can use it to lead him wherever they want him to go. All they gotta do is say target. Very good. Now, how do you target train them? You put the target up to their face. You say target whenever they touch it. Target. Blue. Target. Target. Good job. Whenever they target, you give them food. Target, reward, good job. Target, reward, good job. You do that a bunch of times until they understand what the target means. Then, you can do this. You ready, Blue? Target. 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 You gotta touch it. And target. Good job, Blue. Everybody give me a round of applause. Now, every week I'm training new behavior. This week we trained up. Up, the goal of that is for them to put both arms on my arm so I can lift him up in the air and show how tall he is. He's only 4 months old, 40 pounds right now. He's going to get much bigger than this, probably 100 pounds. And I want to be able to show everybody how tall he is, so I decided to train him up. Are you all ready for up? Yeah. All right, Blue, you ready? He's like, I'm ready. Yeah, come here. Up. He's so tired. Try it again. Up. Whoa. Very good. Everybody give a big round of applause. That's also going to be my workout every day. Now, would y'all like to train him with me?
Yes!
All right, we're going to tell him to say sit on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Sit! We're going to tell him to lay on 3. 1, 2, 3. Sit! We're going to tell him to stay on 3. 1, 2, 3. Sit! Good job, Blue. Everybody give a big round of applause. That's great. Blue did a great job, so we're going to put him back now. Say bye, Blue. Bye, Blue. He's like, I'm ready. I didn't have to tell him to crate. Crate training was pretty easy. How did I crate train him? As soon as I got him, the first thing I did was feed him only in his crate. I didn't lock him in the crate. I just put food in there. And I would say crate as soon as he went in, and he learned to love his crate. And I just didn't shut the door. I would just leave it open. He'd go in and out of his own accord, and that's how I got him used to crating. Let's say your animal's not used to crating and you want to crate them. That's where a target can come in handy. Once you get them trained the target, you can use the target to lead them somewhere, into a car or into a crate, without forcing them to go. Because whenever you force the animal to do something, they can become apprehensive about it and not want to do it. So that's why I never use negative reinforcement. What is negative reinforcement? Things like hitting. Do I ever hit Blue? No, because when he gets bigger, he's going to fight very hard. And if I hit him, guess what he's going to do back to me? He's going to bite me. Second thing, I never yell at Blue. Blue eats something he's not supposed to eat, or he goes to the bathroom somewhere. I don't go, Blue, stop, 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 ah! I don't do any of that. Here's what I do. Blue, no. And just by saying that, sometimes I only got to say no. The tone of my voice when I say Blue, he turns around and goes, oh, I'm not supposed to do that. He immediately knows. I don't have to yell at him to get the point across. He understands it. And by doing that, he's not afraid of me. I don't create a fear between us. It makes it much easier for me to work with him. Questions about Blue?
We're not supposed to be going to the back and we can say no. When people say no.
Okay. Yes. I keep him in unless he becomes dangerous to where I can't. If he shows any form of aggression, no longer does programming, tires my property. If he shows any aggression there where I can't work with him, I don't feel like it's safe around me, he's lined up for a sanctuary. Yes?
What does he eat?
What does he eat? In the wild or at home?
Yes.
At home, he eats very high protein dog food. The stuff I feed him for training, that's junk dog food. I just use it because he's highly motivated for it. Whenever you train an animal, you want to find something that they will do anything for, and it makes training a lot easier. In the wild, they eat a little bit of everything. They're apex predators. Ever say apex?
Apex.
That's top of the food chain. That's why we need gray wolves, because they eat a little bit of everything. The problem is we get wolf dogs. Wolf dogs are not natural in the wild. They can be found in the northwestern United States, Europe, and Asia, and they are bad to be out there because they're not native. Also, they confuse people, because they don't always look like wolves. Sometimes they look just like a dog. And you go up to touch and be like, I want to pet the dog, and guess what happens? Bite. Anything with a mouth can bite. And people are bitten by dogs all the time. We love dogs because they're mammals, and we're mammals, we like mammals. The problem is, they bite more than any other animal. Or not any other, but they're the top ones. And a lot of people go, well, I'm really afraid of being bitten by a snake. Here's the thing. People aren't bitten by snakes all the time. It's dogs. I'll give you a great example right now. If you've been bitten by a snake, raise your hand. One person. If you've been bitten by a dog, raise your hand. Half the crowd. If you've been bitten or scratched by a cat, raise your hand. The other half of the crowd. Those are the things that bite us all the time. Dogs are number 2. Birds are number 3. Cats are number 4. Things that send us to the hospital are these things. You know the number 1 thing to bite people and send them to the hospital? Anybody number 1? The number 1 thing to bite people and send them to the hospital is people. That's right. You're in the danger zone right now, so watch out. Last animal, I need 4 very brave volunteers to help me out with it. Very brave, very brave, very brave. Sitting still in their seats. That has not helped me out yet. If you've already helped me out, hands down. Coming up. Where's the big smiles? Big smiles, big smiles. And blue shirt. Look at me. Boston hat coming up. And one more girl. All right, stand shoulder to shoulder right there. Shoulder to shoulder, shoulder to shoulder. Very good, very good. Let's get a little bit closer together. Very good, very good, very good. Hands out like this. Very good, very good. Our last animal today is a what?
Snake.
A snake. Yes, it's a snake. Now, what sound do snakes make? They make that hissing sound. They do that by forcing air out, and it makes a hissing sound. Bigger snakes make bigger hissing sounds. My snake makes this sound. They hiss and you say, hey, leave me alone. Now, is my snake going to do that today? No. My snake's a nice snake. It doesn't do that. Are y'all ready? Everybody cool with the snake? Perfect. Our snake is called a Hog Island boa. They get named Hog Island because they're from Hog Island, which is off the coast of Honduras, here in Central America. Or in Central America. And Hog Island boa is a pretty big snake. This is Sandy. Say hi, Sandy.
Hi, Sunny.
And Sandy's a Hog Island boa. And we like these snakes. Why do we like them? Because they're not venomous snakes. They are constrictors. Everybody say constrictor. They have 120 to 140 teeth in their mouth that they use to bite down on their prey. And they wrap around and they squeeze it very tight. But this right here, this isn't the dangerous end. The dangerous end is down there. Do you know why that's the dangerous end? That's where she goes to the bathroom at. Yes. She's not going to go to the bathroom, don't worry. Now, we like these snakes because they eat mice and rats. And that's great, because we don't eat mice and rats, and we need animals that do. Mice and rats cause us lots of problems. How? They carry diseases in their fur, and guess where they like to live? They like to live in our houses. They like to eat our food. They bring those diseases right to us and make us sick. Also, mice and rats chew on electrical wires. They cause house fires. Do we like any of that? No. That's why we need snakes. They go up, they eat those mice and rats, and they stop that from happening. Awesome. Now, a lot of people like to ask me, is that snake slimy? Well, volunteers, is the snake slimy? No, it's not. Everybody touch your fingernails. Your fingernails slimy? Yeah, your fingernails smooth. Why are we touching our fingernails? Because our fingernails, her scales, made of the same thing. Keratin. Everybody say keratin. Her scales are kind of like a softer fingernail. At the end of the show, I'll give everybody a chance to touch a snake. If you want to, if you don't want to, you don't have to. Volunteers, y'all did a great job. There's some hand sanitizer behind you. Everybody give them a big round of applause. Brewton, sorry. Brewton, my brain. What's up? You have a snake on the ground? No, I'm not going to say it. There's no reason to put it down. Question. Although you see me holding this snake and all these other animals, if you see an animal outside, you leave it alone. Anything with a mouth can bite. If you pick up a wild animal, they're going to be scared. They're going to try to bite you to protect themselves. So what you can do is when you see an animal outside, take a picture of it. Remember what it looks like. Come back to the library and check out a book. Learn about it. Then you'll know, oh, this is a Hog Island boa. Hog Island boas average about 8 to 10 feet for the girls. They live their entire lives. This one's about 15 years old. They can live around 20 years. And they're not venomous snakes. They're constrictors. They eat what? Mice, rats, and the rodents. That's great. Learn about the animals and it makes them a lot more interesting whenever you see them in the wild. Yes, sir.
My brother has a python about that big.
Cool. Question? Yeah, we're going to touch them at the very end. Yes. Question? You have a puppy that bites you all the time? Yeah. Now be careful with that. I actually like to point this out. A lot of times when we get baby animals like dogs or cats, we like to roughhouse with them. We like to roughhouse with their mouth. Be very careful because that can train them to play with their mouths and their hands. And when they get full grown, guess what they're going to do? They're going to bite you playing with their mouths and they don't realize how dangerous they are. Blue has very sharp teeth. Immediately when I got him, he tried to play with me with his mouth. Every single time he tried to do that, I would grab a toy and I would put that in his mouth. Because I want him to bite the toys, not my hands. And by doing that, I've decreased it more and more and more and more. Now, a lot of people say, oh, he's trying to constrict you. He's not trying to constrict things. there's two things he's doing. Number one, he's holding on so he doesn't fall off. He has 2,000 bones in his body. If he were to drop him, he could break some. Not so good. Second reason is because he's cold-blooded. We say cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. That means he needs heat for energy. Guess who's nice and warm? This guy. I am emitting heat, so he can get energy off of my body. A lot of people go, oh look, the snake loves you so much. He's using me for my heat, that's it. Also, I get this all the time. If the snake's lining up down your side, that means he's sizing you up to eat you. Not true. That is not true at all. What he's doing is getting more body heat off of me. I got a question for you all. Did you have fun today? Yeah! Did you learn a lot? Yeah! Where can you learn more? Am I going to the library taking out some books? Read more about these animals. Read about other animals. Read about whatever you like to read about. At the end of the show, as you're touching the snake, you're welcome to ask me any other questions you have. Parents, if you enjoyed the show, your school's library special events, birthday parties, birthday kids get to help us do the whole show. Feel free to ask me about that after the show. If you enjoyed the program, please go to Facebook and like it. It's Animal Tales LLC. If you did not enjoy the show program, please, please, please do not tell anyone. Thank you all very, very much. You have a great day. Thank you.